What's going on, everyone? So today I'm going to be showing you how I pack all of my camping equipment in my vehicle. And this has been a highly requested video over the years. And to be honest, it's taken me years and years to kind of figure out how to get this all in and make it less stressful. I mean, I remember in the beginning, I had a Toyota Corolla and I decided to go car camping with my family. And let me just say, I quickly learned how bulky and heavy and hard to fit camping gear can be. So I totally get it. But I'll also say over the years, I've expanded my camping setup to make it even more comfortable, all while being able to fit it in the back of my Subaru Crosstrek. So in this video, I'm going to share with you all the tips that I've learned and kind of give you an idea of how like some of the bulkier items like the Campfield futon, the cots, IGT setups, how that all fits inside of a car for camping trips. So let's get into it. All right, so now that we got everything pretty much laid out, I mean, hopefully at least, there's always the chance that I forgot something. I can now get an idea of, what I'm bringing and also cross-check to make sure I'm not actually forgetting anything. So this is the first step that I always do right before I pack my vehicle. Now you're going to notice a theme here that pretty much everything I have is packed into a bin. So whether it's my stove kits or whether it's my steak bin and hammer, everything basically has a compartment for where it goes, so it's easier to find at camp, but it's also just a ton easier to pack as well. It's just less items. When you have less loose things, it makes life so much easier. The other thing is, if you want to learn more about like what I'm actually putting in all of these canvas cases, I have another video that I went into detail and opened everything up before a trip and showed inside. So check that one out as well. I'll put a link to it in the description. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start packing the vehicle. And I always begin by packing the roof box first because it fits a lot of the large, bulky, flat items, chairs, stuff like that. So yeah, let's get started. So coming up top here, starting with the roof box, I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit here. So you can see I have quite a bit of stuff up here, and this pretty much is holding right now, one of my larger gear bags from Snow Peak. This is my stove. I got fireside tools. I have a pile driver case with all 8 IGT legs in there. That's the standing height legs. I have 2 IGT frames, a 3 unit and a 4 unit. I have a single action low table underneath these chairs in the middle there. And then I have 3 luxury low beach chairs right across the top here. In the back, I have a duffel bag with some of our clothes in it, and then I have an emergency kit that comes along pretty much every day. All right, so coming into the back seat here, this is pretty packed up. This bin right here is our sleep system, our mattress. We have an X-Bed, the biggest and thickest X-Bed there is. The Megamat Max is inside of there, along with all of our pillows and Pendleton blankets. This is the mat sheet set. A lot of people ask, like, is it worth bringing, and you know, how bulky is it? Yeah, it's definitely big. It's just foam. You can see it folds up, but for what it is, it still packs flat, and I think it really just enhances the overall like feel of the tent. These are the cushions for the Snow Peak Camp Futon. Those go up top, and you'll see a theme here. I always put the soft items on the top, you know, just in case something was to happen. If things were to fly around, I would much rather a really nice piece of cabin cushion hit one of us in the face than, you know, something really heavy. So this is the framing for the couch right here. You can see it fits inside of the Jikaro carrying case. That's what I'm using right now to store it in. That has the back frame of it. I don't carry the armrests with me, typically because those don't fit in there nicely and they're just a little bit bulky, and I just don't really find it necessary at camp all the time. Oh, and down here, I actually have my oyster cooler. Inside here is pretty packed up as well. But we did bring a lot of stuff with us. So we have the Jikaro table right here. This is that fireside table. We have the takibi right here. We have my steak bin and hammer bin right there. Underneath and behind the Jikaro is my Yeti GoBox. That's our pantry system. We store all of our like pots and pans, stuff like that. This is just another cushion. Emmett usually likes to have this one in the tent no matter what, so I bring it along. Right here is my emergency kit. This is a Yeti GoBox in the smallest size. I usually store just like dehydrated meals, just emergency prep stuff, and just anything that, you know, I might need in case we get stuck out longer than we anticipate it. And over here is my dish bin. All the dishes and cutting boards, stuff like that go in here. I also use this to wash my dishes while I'm at camp. We have the Zuto propane adapter, and underneath that is a 20-pound propane tank. And all the way towards the back, we have our land nest tarp and our land nest shelter. So all that inside of the back of a Subaru Crosstrek, I think is pretty good, honestly. I don't have a lot of complaints despite how small this trunk is. It holds a lot of gear. All right, so I'm going to show you what it looks like on this side of the car as well. So we have the car seat right here, and we keep our Dometic water jugs down here. Sometimes we bring a third one as well. It depends if we need like 10 gallons or just 7 gallons or where we're going. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely pretty packed, but you know, he still has all of the space he needs back here. And my goal with this is to try and just keep it, you know, as safe as possible. So like if something was to happen, most of the gear here is all soft all around. So there's nothing hard that should fly at you, at least I'd hope. And under the seat, we have a little bit of extra storage down there too. We have our NOCO battery charger. This thing has come in handy a ton, actually. Not only for myself, but even for other people out there. When their battery dies, I can basically help them, which is pretty awesome. I've used it more for other people than myself at this point. If you're concerned basically like with the size of your car, if you know everything is going to fit, it's definitely a possibility with the right gear. So I will emphasize like with the right gear, because if this was other brands of gear, like if I just bought like couches on Amazon and tables on Amazon, coolers on Amazon, all that type of stuff, it is very bulky. I mean, I've seen a lot of that stuff in person, and let me just say, you could fill up your trunk way quicker than well-designed pieces of gear, most of which is Snow Peak that's in here, mainly because it all integrates so well. All their systems, their cook systems, their tables, their storage, it all just goes together really nicely, and it's all very cleverly designed. Now, everything adds up. Obviously, the more you bring, it's going to just start packing up, and you don't need all this every trip. My point was to fully pack this out and show you what you can bring with you. But yeah, depending on the trips, you know, you can leave the couch behind. You could even leave the fireside table behind, and a lot of the stuff could end up fitting in the trunk as well, and you could have a little bit of extra room if you had a dog or something like that. So just my recommendation is, if you're starting out, you know, don't go all out like this all at once. add things as you find necessary and build out your setup to what you find that you're missing out there, and keep it like that. Keep it simple. All right, so now after coming back from the camping trip, so I pretty much do the same thing in reverse. I'll lay everything back out over here and just start organizing things back into its original spot, except for the tents and the tarps. That's where I'll actually hang all of them up on these racks, depending on the setup I'm bringing. If I'm bringing shelters, tents, tarps, everything. I have 4 racks right here that I can hang stuff on. So essentially all this is, it's super simple. It's just some 8-foot long 2x4s. And these are just some heavy duty closet brackets and poles. So these actually come off too. It's not really, you know, secured or anything like that. These actually aren't even fixed to the wall either. They're just leaning against it, and they've worked out really well. It's just a really nice, cheap alternative, and I can actually put it away too. So I'm not stuck with these up in my garage if I want to pull my car in. All right, well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for the video today. And hopefully you got a good idea of how a lot of this camping gear packs within a vehicle, especially the larger items like the Jikaro and the Campfield Futon. And as you can see here, I brought both with me, so I pretty much did a complete setup in here. I even fit a 20-pound propane tank. So it shows that it's possible even within a small vehicle like a Subaru like this. Now, I will say adding on a roof box really does go a long way towards helping save a lot of space, because the IGT3 unit, the 4 unit, all the chairs, I have tons of bins up there. It saves all that room for some of the bigger, bulkier items for the vehicle. So yeah, adding a roof box on early on was a huge help and essentially added a second trunk to my vehicle. So yeah, I totally get though, you know, packing and organizing and doing all this, how difficult it can be. And it can be a big barrier for a lot of people, because I know when Friday rolls up, you know, there's not a lot of time to get packing for that weekend trip. So coming up with a system, organizing that system and keeping it consistent is really key. And it takes time to develop, but you know, starting early and just figuring out, you know, where things you want them to be early on. It takes a little bit of time up front, but I tell you, the dividends that you're going to get from it down the line, it's huge. So it makes this whole journey way simpler. So if you have any questions at all about packing, camping, anything at all in general, just comment down below and we can always chat more about it. I've also included affiliate links down below in the description with some of the products that were featured in this video, and clicking those and using them really does go a long way towards helping my channel grow. So thanks for your support with that. As always, thank you all for watching, and hopefully catch you real soon in the next one. Take care.